Passive income has grown into one of the most compelling dreams the internet has ever sold. Earning money while you're asleep. Leaving the 9 to 5 behind. Building enough revenue streams so that working ever again becomes optional. For millions of people worn out by the demands of modern life, that dream felt incredibly real. But over time, something odd started happening around the idea of passive income. The people most fixated on it often had a hard time building real wealth. Meanwhile, many of the genuinely wealthy hardly talked about passive income at all. That's because there was one major problem hidden beneath the whole concept. So today let's explore it. Welcome to Reach Habit. Let's begin by looking at how passive income first became such a powerful dream, because it wasn't always that way. For most of human history, people worked simply because they had no other option. If you needed food, you worked the land. If you wanted money, you traded your time. A blacksmith made horseshoes. A fisherman caught fish. A baker got up before dawn every single day because if they stopped baking, the money stopped too. Work and survival were so tightly linked that almost no one questioned it. Then the industrial age arrived and completely transformed the nature of work. Factories popped up everywhere. Millions of people left farms and small towns to take jobs in cities. Instead of working for themselves, people began working for companies. They punched in at a set time, punched out at another, and repeated the same routine day after day for decades. That system gave birth to modern life as we know it. Salaries became the norm. Careers became the norm. Retirement became the ultimate reward after 40 years of labor. And for a while it worked. A steady job could buy a house. One income could support a family. People believed that if they worked hard enough, life would gradually get better. But over time things started to shift. Working hours got longer. Jobs became less secure. The cost of living kept climbing. People noticed something uncomfortable about the system they had built their lives around. The moment you stopped working, the money stopped too. Taking a vacation meant no income. Getting sick meant financial stress. Losing your job could wipe out years of progress. Almost overnight, even successful people started feeling trapped because the system relied on constant labor just to keep moving forward. That's when a new idea began to slowly spread. What if money could keep coming in even when you weren't working? At first, that notion sounded almost impossible. Most people had been raised to believe that income always required labor. You work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. Simple. But then books started appearing that challenged that belief. Rich Dad Poor Dad became hugely popular because it introduced a different way of thinking about money. Instead of only working for a paycheck, people began talking about assets, things that could keep generating money after the initial work was done. Then came the internet, and suddenly passive income no longer sounded like something reserved for the wealthy. Ordinary people started building websites that earned advertising revenue while they slept. Investors collected dividends from stocks they already owned. Some bought rental properties and watched tenants slowly pay off the mortgage for them. Then social media made the idea explode. You started seeing videos of people working from laptops on beaches in Bali. 20-year-olds talked about escaping the 9 to 5. Entrepreneurs promised financial freedom through online businesses, affiliate marketing, courses, YouTube channels, and digital products. The phrase, "make money while you sleep," became one of the most powerful dreams on the internet. Because deep down, people weren't really chasing luxury. They were chasing freedom. Freedom from alarms, freedom from bosses, freedom from asking permission to live their own life. Passive income became bigger than money itself. It became an escape plan. But then something strange happened. The more people talked about passive income online, the more the idea started to change. At first, passive income was about freedom. Over time, it became something else entirely and people grew obsessed with it. The internet turned passive income into a gold rush. Once social media took off, people were no longer comparing themselves just to their neighbors and co-workers. Now they were comparing themselves to strangers living in penthouses, flying business class, and posting videos from yachts in Dubai. And the odd part is that many of those people weren't talking about jobs anymore. They were talking about systems. One person claimed they made money from Amazon stores while sleeping. Another made money from YouTube ads. Someone else sold online courses. Then came Airbnb rentals, crypto staking, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, vending machines, newsletters, digital products, and automated businesses. Every week, a new video seemed to appear explaining how to escape the 9 to 5 forever. And it arrived at the perfect moment because millions of people were exhausted. Life had become expensive. Housing prices climbed faster than salaries. University degrees cost more. Layoffs became common. Even high-paying jobs began to feel unstable. People worked harder than ever, yet still felt stuck. So when someone online said, "You can make money while you sleep," people listened. Passive income became emotional long before it became financial. For some, it meant finally spending more time with their kids. For others, it meant escaping a terrible boss. Some just wanted to stop feeling anxious every Sunday night before work started again on Monday morning. And the internet made that dream feel within reach. That was the real shift. In the past, building wealth usually required large amounts of money, powerful connections, and owning physical businesses. But now, a teenager with a laptop could theoretically build an audience online. Someone could upload videos to YouTube, write an ebook, create a course, or start a small online business from their bedroom. The barrier to entry collapsed. And because a few people actually did become successful, the whole movement grew even faster. YouTube creators showed screenshots of ad revenue. Finance influencers posted dividend income. Real estate investors filmed apartment tours. Entrepreneurs shared stories of making money while traveling the world. Suddenly, passive income no longer sounded like fantasy. It started to sound normal. Slowly, the definition of success began to change too. For decades, success meant getting a stable job, working hard, climbing the corporate ladder, and retiring someday. But then a new version appeared online. Success became owning assets, building systems, earning money without constant labor, and having control over your own time. That idea became incredibly powerful because it solved a very modern fear. People no longer trusted that jobs alone would protect them. So passive income became more than just a financial strategy. For millions of people, it became a backup plan for survival. At the same time, one major realization slowly started to surface about passive income. There's a big problem with it. Most passive income doesn't actually work the way people think it does. It doesn't really exist, at least not in the way the internet promised. Here's what most people get wrong. Passive income usually means one of two things. You either need a large amount of upfront capital or a very successful business. That's the part social media often leaves out. People love saying real estate creates passive income, but before the income becomes passive, someone first needs enough money to buy the property. And once you own it, it's usually not as passive as people imagine either. There are repairs, tenants, taxes, insurance, vacancies, maintenance, property managers. The income may become less active over time, but someone still has to operate the machine underneath the surface. The same thing happened online. The internet convinced millions of people that passive income meant uploading a few videos, building a dropshipping store, or selling products online while relaxing on a beach somewhere. But most successful online businesses are still businesses. Finding products overseas, managing suppliers, running ads, handling logistics, dealing with refunds, fighting competition, building audiences, that's not exactly passive, is it? Eventually, people started to notice something important. Most passive income is actually delayed active income. You either invest money up front or you invest enormous amounts of time and effort up front, hoping the system eventually becomes more automated later on. Once you understand that, the behavior of the truly wealthy starts making a lot more sense. Billionaires were never obsessed with making money while they sleep. They were obsessed with building systems large enough that their effort created exponential results. That's what billionaires actually wanted. So when passive income became popular online, people started imagining wealth as some kind of escape. The dream was simple: build enough income streams, automate everything, then slowly disappear from the business itself. For many people, that's a fantastic outcome if it works out that way. But the people who built truly massive wealth often behave differently. When they found something that worked, they didn't step away from it. They moved closer to it. That's the part most people misunderstand about wealth creation. Passive income culture teaches people to reduce involvement as quickly as possible. The wealthy often increase involvement once momentum appears, because momentum is rare. Most businesses fail. Most products fail. Most investments remain average. Most ideas never scale. So when wealthy people find something the market actually wants, they usually don't treat it like a passive income stream, they treat it like a fire that needs more fuel. That's when more hours, more intensity, and more effort get poured into it. That's why so many rich billionaires look strangely intense even after becoming rich. The outside world assumes rich people are motivated by money. But very often they become obsessed with momentum itself. Most people don't understand how rare momentum actually is. Most people spend years searching for something that genuinely works. Something customers repeatedly pay for, something capable of growing beyond one person's direct effort. That's why they often spend very little time chasing small passive income streams. Compared to a system with real momentum behind it, those income streams barely move the needle. A rapidly growing company, product, or platform can create more value in a few years than decades of stable passive income ever could. Most became rich by staying close to something that was growing fast enough to change their entire financial future. That's because passive income was never the real goal. The strange thing about passive income is that the people most obsessed with it are often the ones struggling to build it because they focus on income first. The wealthy usually focus on the thing that creates the income. That sounds like a small difference, but it changes almost everything. The internet trained people to think about money in reverse. Find a passive income idea, automate it quickly, escape work, repeat the process again and again. But in the real world, valuable income usually comes from valuable systems. A business people trust. A product people genuinely want. A service solving an important problem. A brand that earns attention year after year. Something useful enough that people keep coming back to it long after the original work was done. That's why so many passive income ideas online eventually collapse. The focus often becomes the income itself instead of the value underneath it. People start businesses they don't care about. They sell products they don't understand. They build websites only for advertising revenue. They launch courses about topics they barely know. Sometimes it works for a while, but systems built only for extraction usually become fragile very quickly, because there's very little underneath them supporting long-term growth. The wealthy learned this lesson early. That's why many of them became obsessed with building things that could survive for years, sometimes decades. They understood that if something genuinely creates value at a large enough scale, income usually becomes unavoidable. At that point, passive income starts appearing naturally anyway. A strong business eventually hires managers. A successful product eventually creates recurring customers. A trusted brand starts attracting attention without constantly fighting for it. An investment portfolio grows because productive companies keep expanding underneath it. From the outside, this can suddenly look passive. But the passive part arrived at the end of the process, not the beginning. That's what people misunderstand. Passive income was never really about avoiding effort completely. It was about building something valuable enough that the effort no longer needed to stay linear forever. This is why the richest people rarely talk about passive income the way the internet does. Most large fortunes were not built by chasing tiny automated income streams from the start. Not at all. They were built by concentrating time, energy, skill, and capital into something with enough demand and enough momentum to keep growing long after the early work was already done. The irony here is that many wealthy people eventually end up with enormous passive income anyway. Dividends, real estate, equity, royalties, cash flow from businesses they no longer operate personally. But those income streams usually arrived after years spent building, expanding, and strengthening the systems underneath them. The passive income became the consequence, not the mission. That may be the biggest misunderstanding the internet ever created around wealth. People thought the rich became wealthy because they escaped work early. But they didn't. In reality, many of them became wealthy because they stayed close enough to something valuable long enough for it to scale far beyond them. Alright, we'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care.